All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well, and honor and salutations to those of you who are the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. All right, so I'm supposed to check something, Salaki, real quick. Let me check this thing real quick. All right, so today I just want to briefly talk about this article that one of the brothers has sent to me, or sent to the group, but that I thought was pretty interesting. And it was an article about um the coronavirus and how it was there was a patent for the disease, right? Which is crazy, right? That there's a disease out there that's wreaking havoc, if you will, right? And it's it's slowly but surely making its way, through the world. Um, and it has a patent to it, right? Essentially, when something gets patented, it has to first be developed and designed and perfected and proven that it works, and then the patent process begins, right? So I thought it was interesting. Now I don't know if it's true, right? I don't know. There's no way I could verify it. There's all kinds of misinformation on the internet, but I'll say this, that my I am inclined to believe that it is true, because this is a characteristic of Esau, right? Now, it's what's heavy about me doing this now. I was gonna do this a couple of days ago, but I never had the opportunity to do it. But this morning, when somebody at my job was he was he was joking around about it, because he's feeling a little under the weather since Saturday. So he was like, I hope it's not the coronavirus. so so it's now I'll say this, that I at first I was on some, because a lot of times they do this fear mongering. They did this not too long ago with the Ebola virus, and then it just died down. They did it with H1N1, and they had videos of some chick. She couldn't walk straight, but she could run backwards. You know what I mean? So it's all crazy shit, right? And the Esau, every once in a while, he does this. He puts this fear out there, and really, what I believe is happening, they're trying to ramp up the idea of mandatory vaccinations, right? And I always bring this up when I talk about propaganda. The movie, the Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where there's a scene where a scientist had his psyche put into a computer so he could stay alive, and he was telling Captain America the story about how fear mongering works, right? When you try to take over a people and you let them know that you're their enemy, right? Much like Rome did, right? The people resist, right? But when you do it in increments, right? When you do it step by step, and you offer them fear and then offer them a solution to what they're afraid of, then they're more inclined to give over their rights and their power to the people that are trying to take it from them. And I believe that's what's happening, man. Because with vaccines being mandated, okay, that's how they're going to implement the chip, right? Because as you know, with the RFID chip, um, it has to be injected into you with a syringe, right? Now it's a heavier gauge syringe, obviously, because of the size the uh, of the device, but it's a syringe nonetheless, and it has to be injected into you through that syringe. And if they mandate vaccinations, you don't know what they're putting in you. They could tell you it's one thing, but it could be something else entirely, right? So With that being said, I got I think there's another article other than this one that I have on the screen, but I have this one, and I want to show you that. So two points, right? One is the point I just made, that if they mandate vaccinations, then that's how they can implement the chip. And the second point is they've always used disease as a weapon. It's not That's not a new thing. So that's why I said, I don't know how true it is, but I'm inclined to believe it's true because Esau has always done that, right? He took over Mexico in that way. He took over North America in that way, right? The bubonic plague and the pneumonic plague was no different. Disease has always been weaponized to destroy the people that Esau is trying to take over. Because bottom line is, like we mentioned yesterday at camp, they can't fight fair. They don't have the prowess, the fighting spirit that Jake has, the fighting ability, the athletic ability to be a fighter. So they cheat in this way. So I'm not surprised by this. And it's not far fetched from Esau's character. As a matter of fact, since I said that, let me do this. Go here. Um, oh, I think it's Psalms. I want to type it, but I think I'm gonna word it wrong. Psalm 58, I think it is. Psalm 58, and I think I want to say 3. This is Psalms 58, yeah, and 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born. Oh, shit. Speaking lies, right? So here it is. They're propagating on TV that this thing is just some some chanced outbreak, right? Some chance virus that just happens, and it just starts spreading around, and then we found our first case here in the United States. This is a weapon, man. This is a weapon. Much like vaccinations are a weapon, this coronavirus is too a weapon, man. It's a weapon. That's how Esau fights. He gets you sick, weakens you up a little bit, and then tries to kick your ass, man. You know. So let me go back to the article here. Yeah, that's the other one there. So let me read a little bit of this. I wanted to go down to the story where it started. It says, "The Demon in the Freezer." Richard Preston, the New Yorker, July 1999. Wow, how smallpox went from eradicated disease to the ideal weapon of bioterrorists. Okay, it says, for years the scientific community generally thought that biological weapons weren't effective as weapons, especially because it was thought that they're difficult to disperse in the air. This view persists, and one reason is that biologists know little or nothing about aerosol particle technology. The silicon chip industry is full of machines that can spread particles in the air. To learn more, I called a leading epidemiologist and bioterrorism expert, Michael Osterholm, who has been poking around companies and labs where these devices are invented. I have a device the size of a credit card sitting on my desk, he said. It makes an invisible mist of particles in the 1 to 5 micron size range. That size hangs in the air for hours and gets into the lungs. You can run it, on a camcorder battery. If you load it with 2 tablespoons of infectious fluid, it could fill a whole airport terminal with particles. You see? So they have the technology to do these things, man. Right? So I didn't see this one. The story of H1N1, right? Says let me see what it reads. Um, All right, so yeah, so if you want to go to this site, there's a bunch of different stories about, all these diseases being weaponized. But that was just something I wanted to point out, that it's nothing for to very quickly drop a mist in an airport terminal or where there's heavy traffic, right? And I mean traffic meaning not cars, but people, where there's a lot of people, a mall, an airport, um, a workplace, or like a factory where there's a bunch of people that work there. Anywhere where there's a lot of people, you can spray a little mist, and next thing you know, everybody in the building has been infected, man. You know. So in this time, we gotta pray that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is a cover to us in these times, man. Because we can't really, what can we do to stop the coronavirus? If you inhale it, that's your ass, right? So this is the time where your faith should ramp up, because these things are going to happen. This is the time of Jacob's trouble. Going forward, it's only going to get more difficult regardless of what the issue is. It's only going to get more and more difficult, right? So let me read a little bit of this other article, and then you can go to, you can just look up coronavirus, and it being a patent. Matter of fact, did I pull it? Oh, I pulled it up on this phone. But I think you could put in coronavirus patent, and it'll come up, right? So let's read this. It says the basic structure of the latest coronavirus 2019-nCoV is the same as that of SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, which broke out in China in 2003. Like the SARS virus, 2019 nCoV has been found to share the same receptor, angiotensin converting enzyme to 2, ACE2. Some suspect that these two viruses have been deliberately weaponized due to a finding that Asian males have 5 times as many ACE2 expressing cells in their lungs as in any other demographic. This line of inquiry is being shut down on public chat boards for being discriminatory, which is absurd. Which right? How is that absurd? How is it discriminatory? Right? That's a factual thing that was found and documented, and it was just brought out. There's no discrimination, right? It says this echoes complaints shared by Chinese ambassador to the U.S. Siu Tian Kai on Face the Nation this past Sunday of racial discrimination and xenophobic comments, like Batsuit. He warned that online discussion of the topic was dangerous for fear of causing mass panic. The 50 Cent Army has succeeded in shutting down related threads on Reddit and elsewhere. Why would you shut something like that down? If it's being weaponized, shouldn't people know that? Shouldn't people be aware of that? Right? Another feature of 2019 nCoV that has raised suspicions of weaponization was described in a study from India submitted for peer review. That's the same amino acid insertions in the spike glycoprotein has, as seen in the HIV-1 virus, were present in 2019 nCoV, but are not present in other coronaviruses. Mm. So they're tampering with this stuff, man. They're in the lab putting this shit together, adding shit to it. It's a weapon, man. So even if the stories of the outbreak are true, right? You got to ask yourself what the source of it is. Question these things, and then ask, why are they doing that? Right? So it says the study stated that these insertions are unlikely to be fortuitous in nature, meaning by accident. You see? Like it just happened, it just so happened that some of the proteins that are in HIV are now in this strain of this coronavirus. You see, Esau is the mad scientist, man. This is what he's got going on. right? It says in AIDS patients, these spike glycoproteins drop off the virus and plug into receptors on the intestinal wall, blocking the absorption of nutrients and causing the dramatic physical wasting that is a hallmark of AIDS. Bioweapons expert Dr. Francis Boyle is shown in this video saying SARS itself is already a biological warfare weapon, and then they supercharged it with DNA, genetic engineering of maybe synthetic biology to add into SARS. HIV, they gave it these gain of function activities. Man, you see this? So this is what Esau, he's prepping, man. He's prepping. Right? He's trying to weaken the bodies of the people so that they can fight him, man. You see, this is his last stitch effort, man. All right. So you can go and read this. This is WG Publishing. You can read this article. Back to the name of it: 2019 NCOV Bioweapon Black Swan. Right. So go to these things, man. Go to these things, and you can read it for yourself. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Hakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well. Honor and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, I say shalom.